What's good, everybody? So I'm on my tablet. This whole, this whole, if Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time, is it's really getting out of hand. And you don't know, the dude's only 29 years old. I don't know when his birthday is, but he's gonna be coming 30 whenever his birthday is. But Patrick Mahomes is no. I mean, I've seen every quarterback there is to see in the early 2000s because I wasn't really up to date when the NFL was popping back in the 80s and 90s. But I've seen every quarterback from early 2000 and up, right? For me, I think Patrick Mahomes doesn't take the game serious. I really don't. He's not what you call a meathead. He's not a student of the game. Because I remember when he said in an interview, like, if you had to pick which sport to play, which would you pick? He said straight out baseball. Now, obviously, baseball was his first sport that he fell in love with because his dad was a pitcher. But I guess he found football, and I guess he made it a knack for him. But his true and his number one sport was baseball. Now, when a quarterback says that, now obviously when a quarterback says that, that raises a lot of concern because yeah, baseball was your number one option and your first love, but you chose football instead because you thought football would be an easy path for you, because it's very hard to win in baseball. It really is. I'm not a baseball fan. I don't have any baseball team. But just watching the playoffs and just watching spring football, spring baseball, and just watching a few games last year, it's very hard. It's not easy as people think it is. They play the same amount of games as NBA. Their playoff format is win or go home. What you call it is 7-game series. I think best out of 4. But it's hard. It's hard to play. It's hard to play baseball. People think it's just all you just got to do is just hit the bat. No, you got to time it. There's different pitching throws. So it's vastly different from the NFL. The NFL, shoot, the NFL is week to week. Like like the NFL is just different, or not really different, but the NFL is just simple, but I do believe that Patrick Mahomes doesn't take the game serious, and I believe that he's not going to play until he's 40, he might probably play like around 30, 33, 34, and then when he gets into that 35, 36 range, you'll start to see the decline. And he'll probably call it quits, retire, and he'll probably be first ballot Hall of Fame in most people's eyes. When I say that Patrick Mahomes doesn't take the game seriously, I just think that he just goes out and does stuff that nobody else can do. It's kind of like a Stephen Curry in basketball, right? Like we all know Stephen Curry couldn't play defense to save his life. The same thing with Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he understands like the mental part of football where you have everything easy for you now. When Andy Reid is gone next year, he said that the next following year is going to be his final season. So when Andy Reid is gone, that's when a lot of people are gonna look at Patrick Mahomes different because they said the same thing about Tom Brady. Like, oh, Tom Brady can never win without Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick made Tom Brady. And Bill Belichick has been in the NFL for decades. So, he's a mastermind genius on the defensive end. But, everybody was pointing to Tom Brady saying, oh, you'll never win with Belichick. Anywhere you go, it's going to be a not a really distraction, but it's going to be a struggle. He went to Tampa, right, during the COVID year and won the Super Bowl without him. Now you see Bill Belichick without Tom Brady, and he was reduced to a bunch of mediocre. He was reduced to a mediocre season with a rookie quarterback. Patriots let him go. Now he's in the collegiate level coaching. I think he's coaching for North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. So who really needed who? At the end of the day. Who really needed who at the end of the day? So I'll say this to say this. To me, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time. He's a great talent, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's the greatest football player of all time. Because it's a team sport. In basketball, you could go out there and single-handedly dominate a game. Baseball, same thing. Shoot, you could hit 10 home runs in one inning, 5 home runs in one inning. But in football, they call it the ultimate team sport for a reason. You need those guys, tight ends, running backs, wide receivers, fullbacks. You need all of them to do their job. And if they don't do their job, then you're going to be looking like what Patrick Mahomes looked like in the Super Bowl 3 years ago against the Bucks. The running for his life, throwing off the foot, throwing back sideways, front ways, like he was just trying to do too much. He was trying to be hero. He was like, basically he was playing hero ball too much. You know what I'm saying? But to me, no, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is the greatest of all time. That's a little bit, pushing it. I know some of y'all old heads are probably going to say, well, such and such is not playing no more. We have to look through the future, this and that. Yeah, but, like, to me, I just don't think he understands the concept of football, because football is still new to him. It is. I think I don't know when he played football, but he played baseball at a very young age, He didn't get to play football until he was like, 17, 16 years old, I believe. So football to him is still new, But when you have a great head coach, I'm not going to, and then that's another thing. Andy Reid is not the greatest head coach of all time either. He's not. Like how many years you spent in Philly, didn't win a championship, won 9 NFC East titles, went to 1 Super Bowl appearance and lost, and then after that, if you didn't make the move that you made, people would have been looking at you different. If Andy Reid did not make the moves that he made, a lot of people would have been looking at him different. But since he won a Super Bowl ring, since he won a few Super Bowl rings, everybody's looking at him like he's some kind of, guru, which he wasn't. Because if he was, he would have won with Donovan McNabb and T.O. I'm sorry, He would have won with Donovan McNabb and T.O. if he was that good. Just saying. So the fact that a lot of people are just clinging on to this notion that, oh, the Chiefs are some no, they're not. If you understood the history of the Chiefs, you would understand how abysmal, lackluster, inefficient, embarrassing of a franchise that team was. They didn't start winning until the early 2010s. That's how bad. I'm playing Madden right now. I'm playing Madden 17. So that Madden 17, they were pretty actually good. They were real good. Well, not really, really good, but they were decent good. So they didn't start winning until early 2010s. Well, I'll probably just say they didn't start winning until 2017. I'll probably put it that way. But when you have the right people in office making the right moves, this is what you get. And that's what my Giants failed to That's what my Giants failed to understand. You know, the Giants have a first-time head coach, first-time GM. That's not a winning recipe because they're gonna tend to make mistakes like they did. Now a lot of people say, well, again, they should have traded or they should have signed Saquon Barkley, and I say, okay, you signed Saquon Barkley, then what? Okay, you let Xavier McKinney go. Okay, you don't want to pay him, that's fine. You let him walk. You still don't have any money because, first of all, okay, you released Daniel Jones or Daniel Jones asked to be released or whatever. Okay, boom. You still don't have enough money because you overpaid for Saquon Barkley. So now Saquon Barkley is still running behind a battle line. Don't have the quarterback of, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just. And the Giants could have drafted. I'm sorry if I'm going off topic, but the Giants could have drafted. Not David. I was going to say David. Russell Wilson in 2012. Russell Wilson fell. He didn't. He was not even picked in the first round. He fell. The Giants could have just scooped him up, played with him, or not really play him right away, but they can play behind Eli Manning. Then once Eli Manning retired. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. Go back and look at that 2012 draft class. He fell. Like, a lot of people say that, oh, he was undersized. He was like a poor man version of Drew Brees and a lot of short quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're a quarterback, you're supposed to be like 6'6", 6'3", 6'4", or something like that. But when you're like 6 foot, it's like, you know, like they question Drew Brees' arm. You know, they question Drew Brees' height. Like, what does height have to do with making playing back football? You know what I'm saying? Whether you like, there's a lot of short running backs. There's a lot of short receivers. Not too many short tight ends. You know, but it's just stupid to me. But anyways, I just think that Patrick Mahomes is going to leave the game early than expected. I don't think he's going to be this meathead where he's just addicted to football like a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning. Because those guys had to leave the game because, for one, they were getting old, and for two, their mechanics was not there no more. You know what I'm saying? Their mechanics wasn't there no more. You know, so. That's the only reason why all these guys are retiring left and right. Because they don't have it anymore. You know, like, you thinking Drew Brees at the age that he was retiring? No, he would have played for another 5 years. Ben Roethlisberger, he would have played for another 5 years. Eli, another 3 years. Peyton, another 3 years. All these guys are retiring left and right because they don't have it anymore, or the product is just boring. You know, now the NFL is just spread out offense, mobile quarterbacks, and that's it. You know, because the NFL wants more fireworks. You know, they don't want a boring the NFL don't want a boring early 2000 defense stalemate. You know, they want a lot of touchdowns. They want more scoring, less defense. That's just what it is. More scoring, less defense. So that's what y'all gonna get from year in and year out. Y'all gonna see these mobile quarterbacks that can move, spread out off. Like the NFL is just gonna be like college. The NFL is just gonna be like college. Actually, it is turning into college. Actually, the only difference is age. you know, age. You know, I mean, who's left? Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Like the NFL is gonna be a ghost town for the next 10 years. That's why you have the NFL draft to draft these guys, hope they can develop into something good. So now we got Josh Allen for another 10 years, Lamar for another 10, or if they decide to play that long, who knows, you know. But anyways, man, let me know what y'all think. Is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs a dynasty, or are they just something that we've seen already? Like, comment, subscribe. On the way to 900. Okay, let's get it.